Hey everyone, welcome back to the deep dive. You know how it is. It's Wednesday,
Oh, yeah.
and we are ready
Oh,
for a midweek reset. So we're diving into a blog post today.
okay.
It's called 50 Wednesday Journal Prompts.
No.
It's by Lestallion,
I like it already.
and it was published on December 25th of 2024.
It's very festive.
So it's perfect for what we want to do today
Yeah.
because it's all about taking that pause in the middle of the week
Mm-hmm.
to reflect, set some intentions,
Mm-hmm.
and really make sure the rest of your week is like awesome, which is what we're all about here.
That's the goal, right?
Totally.
Every week.
Every week. So
Right.
they give us 50 prompts,
Okay.
broken down into 5 categories,
5 categories.
which I like a good framework.
Right. It's not just a random list. There's actually some thought behind it.
Yeah.
And that kind of blew me away. So,
Yeah.
first category,
Hit me with it.
reflecting on your week so far.
Oh, right.
Makes sense, right? We're halfway through. It's time to check in.
But
Yeah.
I love that there are prompts in there that go beyond just like,
Yeah.
what'd you do?
Yeah. Like, what did you eat?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's one that asks, what's one thing, no matter how small, that you're proud of accomplishing this week?
I love that. Why do you think that?
Yeah. Why start there?
Why start with the positive?
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's not how we usually think. We're always so focused on, like, what went wrong? What do I need to fix?
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
But they're like, no. Let's start with like a little win.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're already killing it.
I think it's smart because it kind of puts you in a better headspace to reflect.
Yes,
So
it
they-
sets the tone.
Oh.
Instead of being like, ugh, this week sucked. It's like, okay, I did something good. Now let's look at where I can level up. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Like it's priming you
Yeah. Priming the pump.
to be
right?
more self-aware and then take action.
And speaking of action,
Oh, yeah.
there's other prompts in this category.
Yeah.
About, like, learning from.
The tough stuff.
The
challenge. Oh, yeah. Like what went wrong?
Yeah.
What could I have done differently?
Right. But they're phrased in a way that's not super negative. It's more about, like, extracting the lesson.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So is there a specific benefit to like writing that down
Mm-hmm.
versus just thinking about it?
Oh, there's tons of research on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like putting things into words, especially writing them, changes things. Like it forces your brain to organize the experience differently.
Mm.
It's not just like floating around in your head. It becomes concrete, you know?
So it's like less, ugh, this week sucked.
Yeah.
And more like, okay, here's what I learned.
Exactly.
So next time, boom, like you're building a library of wisdom
Yeah.
from your own life.
Ooh, I like that. A library of wisdom. Way more useful than just endless venting.
Oh, for sure.
Which I'm very good at. But you know what? We need to move on to the next category
Really?
because this one I think is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This is called Midweek Motivation and Goals.
I like it. So I love this idea of a micro goal. Just for Wednesday. Something small. Something you can crush to feel good going into the rest of the week.
Yeah, I love that.
Right? It's like a little reward
Yeah.
for making it to hump day. But it also propels you forward.
Like a little boost. It's genius. And because you know from like behavioral science that little accomplishments release dopamine.
Oh, yeah. Dopamine. is like,
Motivation juice
I need that.
for your brain.
Yes.
So it's like, they're giving you a way to hack that by Wednesday.
When you're probably
Oh.
bragging a bit.
I'm already dragging. So,
Oh, brilliant.
but then they take it a step further.
Okay. How so?
There's a prompt about connecting those micro goals to your bigger long-term dreams.
Oh, that's important.
I struggle with that. Like seeing how what I'm doing today actually matters in the grand scheme of things.
Right. It's so easy to lose sight of the forest for the trees.
But anyway, I guess if you can connect those little things to something bigger, it makes them more meaningful.
Research actually shows, oh, does it really?
Yeah. People who like visualize their goals and link them to their daily actions are way more likely to achieve them.
Wow.
It's like you're building a bridge
Mhm.
between where you are and where you want to be.
I love that. That's a great metaphor. It's
Yeah.
like all those little Wednesday wins are like beating stones on the path
Yeah.
to something bigger.
And that can be incredibly motivating when you're feeling bogged down.
Like midweek.
Yeah, like right now.
Exactly. So we've reflected on the week. We've pumped ourselves up. What's next
What is next?
in this Wednesday reset?
Oh, this is the part I was both excited for and a little like, ugh, really.
Okay, I get it.
About,
I'm intrigued.
it's called Practicing Gratitude and Positivity, which On a Wednesday.
when you're just trying to survive, can feel a little cheesy.
It's a little much.
A little much. But Lestallion have this prompt that I actually love.
I like
Okay.
this good.
Reflect on a moment that made you smile this week. How can you create more moments like it today?
Oh, I like that. That's good.
Right. It's turning gratitude
Yeah.
into like
Mm-hmm.
a challenge. It's not just,
Passive.
it's active.
Yes. Which, for some reason, works for me. So, is there more to this than just the woo-woo feel-good stuff?
There's actually a ton
Yeah,
of
then-
science
Yeah.
backing this up. Like legit research
Yeah.
shows that focusing on the positive, even for a few minutes,
Yeah.
changes things.
What kind of things?
It reduces stress hormones.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
And it shifts your brain
Yeah.
into a more resourceful,
Yeah.
problem-solving
Well,
mode.
that's
Is it
fair.
switching from fight or flight and saying, all right, let's handle this. You know?
So it's less about pretending everything is perfect
Yeah.
and more about, like, giving yourself a mental...
More likely, it's like a
Yeah.
strategic advantage.
I like it. Especially on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
When you still
Yeah.
have half the week to conquer.
Yes.
And there's another prompt in here about how gratitude helps you stay grounded on tough days, which,
Yeah.
let's be real, some Wednesdays are just rough.
No matter how much you journal. So, how does gratitude help with that specifically?
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay.
You're swamped, stressed. Everything's going wrong. But then you take a minute to write down, say, 3 things you're grateful for, even if they're small.
Okay. What happens?
What do you think?
I guess it shifts your perspective a little.
Well-
You're reminded that things aren't all bad.
Right. And that shift, even if it's subtle, can be enough to, like, break you out of a negative spiral.
Oh, shoot.
It's not about denying the challenge, but it gives you the mental space and say, okay, I can handle this. Because,
Yeah.
and then you have that list of good things to draw on.
That makes
And
sense.
it's like,
Been here. Super
yeah,
angry.
Yeah.
And the world doesn't seem so terrible, you know?
Totally. It's like a reset.
Yeah, it's that little boost
Yeah.
of perspective and resilience that we all need sometimes.
Especially midweek. Speaking of boosts.
Ooh, what else do we have? Lestallion has a whole section on self-care and mindfulness,
Oh,
which, honestly, I need every day, not just on Wednesdays.
yeah. Well, and that's the beauty of this post. It's giving you the tools to apply these principles to any day, even if you're not journaling.
Oh, I like that. So
Okay.
it's not just about pampering yourself.
Although that can be nice too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a prompt about identifying
Mm-hmm.
one small act
Mm.
of self-care.
Yeah.
That brings you peace. And they specifically say it doesn't have to be time-consuming.
Why do you think they emphasize that?
I think because, you know,
Yeah.
most of us,
Yeah.
we're juggling a million things.
Oh, yeah.
Especially midweek. It's
Yeah.
easy to feel like self-care is this huge undertaking that we
Yeah.
just don't have time for.
Right. It becomes another item on the to-do list, which
Yeah.
defeats the whole purpose.
Even 5 minutes of mindful breathing
No.
or listening to a song you love can have a measurable impact on your stress levels.
Wow.
It's about those little micro resets throughout the day.
That makes sense. It's like hitting the pause button on the chaos for a second to catch your breath.
Exactly.
I like that. Lestallion also has a prompt about how you manage stress, specifically on Wednesdays.
What? Why single out Wednesday for that?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
Typical week. Monday, you're getting back into the swing of things. Tuesday, you're building momentum. But by Wednesday, that initial energy has worn off. And the to-do list is probably piling up. It's prime time for stress to take over if you're not careful.
That's very true. It's like that point in a workout
Yeah.
where you hit the wall.
Yes.
But instead of giving up, Lestallion's giving you tools to push through it.
I love that.
Right. So we've reflected. We've set goals. We've boosted our mood. We've taken care of ourselves.
We're doing great.
What's the final
Final piece.
of this Wednesday reset?
This is where Lestallion brings it all home. The last category is looking ahead to the weekend.
Wait, we're still in the middle of the week.
I know, right? It might seem counterintuitive, but
Right.
what they're doing is creating a bridge between all the work you've done on yourself and the reward of those well-deserved days off.
Oh, I see. So it's not just about surviving until Friday.
It's about setting yourself up
Oh.
to actually enjoy the weekend. I like that. There's this one prompt about visualizing your ideal weekend. how it is.
That tie into everything else we've talked about.
Visualization is a powerful tool for manifesting what you want by spending time imagining your perfect weekend, the feelings, the activities, the energy. You're essentially programming your brain to seek out those experiences.
Oh, wow.
And because you've already done all the work of reflecting, goal setting, self-care, you're coming into the weekend from a place of strength,
And
intention. You're creative.
The perfect launch pad for an amazing weekend.
Small prompt about identifying one task you want to finish before Friday so you can fully relax and enjoy the weekend.
I need that because I always have that nagging feeling of unfinished business
Looming over your head.
over my whole weekend. So I guess by tackling that one task, you're clearing your mental inbox and giving yourself permission to fully unplug.
And recharge by closing all those tabs on your computer that, you should deal with, but keep putting on.
I do that all the time.
Finally hitting that close all button feels so good.
It's like a sigh of relief.
Exactly. And Anila, Lestallion takes it a step further with a prompt about reflecting on the energy you want to bring into the weekend.
Interesting. How does that tie into intentional living?
Well, it's about being proactive rather than reactive.
Oh, I like that. Instead of just letting the weekend happen to you. Consciously choosing the vibe you want to create, whether it's adventure, relaxation, quality time with loved ones. You're setting the intention and then letting the experiences flow from there.
Precisely. It's about aligning your actions with your desired outcome. They also encourage reflecting on what you've learned throughout the week and how you can carry those lessons forward into the weekend. And
oh, wow. So it's not just about hitting reset and forgetting everything that happened during the week. It's about integrating those experiences into your overall growth.
Exactly. It's about using Wednesday as a bridge between the past week and the week ahead, taking those lessons learned and applying them to create a more fulfilling and meaningful life.
This has been so insightful. I'm already feeling more motivated to make Wednesday my power move day.
Me too. And there's one more prompt that I think really captures the essence of Lestallion's message. They ask, how can you balance productivity and relaxation for the rest of the week? What do you think is the key to finding that balance, especially as we approach the weekend?
That's the million-dollar question, right? I think it's about being mindful of your energy levels and needs. Maybe on Wednesday and Thursday you push a little harder to wrap things up, but then you consciously create space for relaxation on Friday night and throughout the weekend.
It's about creating a rhythm that works for you. Some people thrive on a structured schedule, others prefer a more flexible approach. The key is to be intentional about how you allocate your time and energy, ensuring that both productivity and relaxation are given their due.
I'm starting to see Wednesday as less of a hump day and more of a launch pad. It's like that pivotal moment in a movie where the hero finally figures things out and sets off on their final mission.
I love that analogy. And in this case, the mission is a fulfilling and intentional life.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
But I just realized we focus so much on the individual prompts that we haven't really talked about the bigger picture of journaling itself. Lestallion clearly believes in its power, and you mentioned some research earlier.
You're right, we kind of glossed over that. What are you curious about specifically?
Well, for someone like me who's never really kept a journal consistently, what's the real value beyond just, venting about my day? Does it actually change anything?
There's actually fascinating research on this. It's not just about getting stuff off your chest, though. That has its benefits, too. Studies show that regular journaling can actually rewire your brain in ways that boost emotional regulation, resilience to stress, even improve immune function.
Wait, hold up. Journaling can boost my immune system. That sounds like a bit of a stretch.
I know, right? But it makes sense when you think about it. When we bottle up emotions, it creates chronic stress, which wreaks havoc on our bodies. Journaling helps us process those emotions in a healthy way, which reduces stress and ultimately strengthens our defenses.
So it's like a mental detox that has physical benefits too.
Exactly. And beyond the physiological stuff, journaling helps you become more self-aware. You start to see patterns in your thinking, your reactions to situations, and even your relationships. That kind of insight is incredibly valuable for personal growth.
So it's like holding up a mirror to your inner world and seeing things you might not have noticed otherwise.
Exactly. And once you see those things, you have the power to change them. It's like Lestallion's prompts. They guide you towards that self-discovery and then empower you to make choices that align with your values and goals.
It's like they're giving you a map and a compass for navigating your own life.
That's a great way to put it. And the beauty of journaling is that it's completely personal. You can use Lestallion's prompts, create your own, or just free write whatever comes to mind. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
So really the most important thing is just to start writing.
Exactly. Even if it's just for 5 minutes a day, consistency is key. The more you journal, the more benefits you'll reap.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to give it a try. And I love how Lestallion has made Wednesdays the focal point for this practice. It's like a midweek reminder to pause, reflect, and set intentions for the days ahead.
And remember, these prompts are just a starting point. You can use them as inspiration to explore whatever feels relevant to you in the moment. The key is to approach journaling with curiosity and an open mind.
So to wrap things up, Lestallion has given us 50 powerful prompts to turn Wednesdays into a day of reflection, goal setting, self-care, and intention setting, not just for the weekend, but for life in general.
And they've shown us how journaling, when done consistently, can be a transformative tool for personal growth, emotional regulation, and even physical well-being.
This has been such an insightful deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us.
It's been a pleasure. And for all of you listening, I encourage you to check out Lestallion's blog and give these Wednesday prompts a try. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and the power of intentional living.
And until next time, keep diving deep and keep exploring.
There's experiences into your overall growth.
Yeah, so it's not just about like hitting reset.
Right.
And forgetting everything that happened during the week.
It's about taking those lessons and weaving them into the fabric of your life.
Okay, I got it.
You know?
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like Wednesday becomes this pivotal point where you take stock and then a you. Course correct.
Yeah, and you're not reacting. You're being intentional about how you move forward.
Which is really what this whole deep dive has been about.
It really has. This has been so insightful. I'm already feeling more motivated to make Wednesday my power move day.
Me too. I'm on board.
Right.
Wednesdays are the new Mondays.
There you go. I think Lestallion would approve of that.
I think so too.
To wrap things up, Lestallion has given us 50 powerful prompts to turn Wednesdays into a day of reflection, goal setting, self-care, and intention setting. Not just for the weekend, but for life in general.
It's a whole life makeover.
It really is.
Starting on a Wednesday.
Starting on a Wednesday.
Of all days.
I love it. This has been such an insightful deep dive. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise.
It's been my pleasure. And for all of you listening, I encourage you to check out Lestallion's blog and give these Wednesday prompts a try. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself and the power of intentional living.
Yes.
You know?
Amazing.
All right. Huh. And until next time, keep diving deep and keep exploring.